The colonel said, "You can't take credit when things go right if you're not willing to accept responsibility when things go wrong." Hey, good day. This is Lauren Schiefer, the colonel's daughter, with today's Kernel of Wisdom. One of Dad's favorite quotes was supposedly from legendary college football coach Bear Bryant. Bryant said, "If the Tide wins big, the team did a great job. If we squeak by with a win, I've got some work to do. If we lose, it's all on me." The colonel was adamant about the leader taking responsibility rather than credit. It is the leader's job to give credit to the team when they have done well and when they have achieved or exceeded a goal. During one of Dad's terms at the Weapons Laboratory, Kirtland Air Force Base in Albuquerque, New Mexico, he was in charge of a division called Facility Survivability. Dad's team was responsible for testing the effectiveness of an individual bomb or series of bombs dropped on a structure. One of the early tests they performed out in the New Mexico desert was considered an overwhelming success. The instruments they had set up to measure force and expansion, ground compression, and debris patterns had all worked perfectly. That gave the Air Force the information they needed to calculate the most effective altitude for their bombing raids in Vietnam. Dad was given a commendation, but he refused to accept his until every member of his team received their accommodation. Leaders also don't place blame on others. Harry Truman's famous quote, "The buck stops here," was another one of Dad's favorites. The year after Dad's very successful ordnance test, a second test was assembled in the desert. This was larger, more acreage, requiring more time and more investment to set up. Dad and his team worked on construction and instrumentation for over 4 months. When the bombers dropped their payload, the explosion was impressive and could be heard over 100 miles away. Unfortunately, not a single one of their instruments set up to record the effects of the explosion did their job. A single wire connection had come loose sometime during the test, and it had disabled all of the instrumentation. Now, while Dad didn't put the connections together himself, he shouldered the entire blame. It had ultimately been his responsibility to make sure that the connection was solid, was checked, double-checked, triple-checked. He had failed his team and cost the Air Force a great deal of time and money. He owned it and took the hit for his team. Two very important, very different sides of the same coin exemplify one of the most important characteristics of leadership: giving credit to the team when things go well, and being willing to take responsibility with grace for the team's shortcomings. You can't take credit when things go right if you're not willing to take responsibility when they go wrong. This is Lauren Schiefer, the colonel's daughter. Have a great day.